Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome to Pillow Talk with Dr. Boyce and Dr. Alicia. Pillow Talk is where I get together with my lovely wife, Dr. Alicia Watkins, who is a couples counselor and full professor of social work. And we lay against our pillows and literally try to have a fun and intelligent conversation. And I'd like to say hello to my wife. How you doing, baby?
Pretty good. How are you doing? And if we ever had this and we're not on our pillow, I just feel like it doesn't work. It
Yeah,
only works when we're on our pillows.
we get along better when we lay on our pillows, don't we?
Well, I think we get along really well, though.
I
Don't
think
you
so
think?
too. I like sitting there on the pillow because I can look right at you.
Yeah, I'm like right in your space.
I know you like breathing on my nose.
It's such a treat.
It's
As if we didn't spend like all day today together.
I know, right? We took our oldest to college. And you cried a little bit.
Oh, I
How
didn't
you feeling?
expect, you know what? I didn't see it coming. I
Mm,
didn't see it coming. It just like I could see it kind of building up in the parking lot. Like it just hit me that like okay, so we moved his stuff in his dorm, and all I kept thinking was, all right, now you need to get back in the car so we can go home. Like your house is with me, and I wasn't prepared for that. I just didn't want to think about it.
Has anybody else dropped their child off at college and got emotional when it happened? I don't
Oh,
know. I feel like it's more the mothers, but I did see a father hugging his son and he was crying and the
he was
son was crying.
crying.
Yeah,
Oh,
my dad didn't cry, but stuff like that.
my
And I
dad
don't.
didn't cry. Well, see, my dad dropped me off for college. I didn't see him cry. He may have cried.
Mm.
Cause I was the baby. I was the baby of the family. So I don't know how he felt, but I know like I was talking to my brother today about it and I started tearing up again. I
Mm.
didn't expect it to happen.
Oh, oh,
Oh my goodness.
oh.
Anyway, so what's on your mind today?
Well, Russ, hey, what's up, Russ? I want to say hi to Russ. Russ says that he made it after work. He said, "I love these talks." Well, we love you too, Russ. Josh says, "I love y'all chemistry. Thank you." So Lizzo is the singer who, I don't know how to describe Lizzo because I don't want to get banned by the Facebook police, but she seems to take pride in kind of being a big girl and being very, very, very sexual. And that's a controversial because there are people who love it, and they think that she represents empowerment. And by the way, Alan says he has two twins, a boy and a girl. He dropped them off at U of L yesterday.
Wait, what?
Alan Benson, yeah,
Oh,
University of
the
Louisville. Look at that.
freshman. Okay, so they gotta look up
Yeah,
Quincy. You gotta look up Quincy.
shoot me a note, Alan.
Yeah.
We'll hook our son up with your kids, man.
What a small world. Okay, wait a minute. I think I saw a set of twins.
Did you a boy and a girl?
No, it wasn't a boy. Oh no, I saw two girls who looked alike. But
Yeah, well,
okay.
I'm looking forward to meeting Alan's kids. Alan Benson
Oh, we
sounds like a
got to
good dude.
hook up with him.
Well, if Alan's hanging out with us, he got to be good people.
Of
B1 people are
course.
solid people.
What a small world. That's so
These are
great.
high quality Negroes. Anyway, okay,
Oh,
so check this out.
okay.
So Lizzo goes out, and then there are a lot of people. Some people who love what she's doing. They're like, "You go, girl. This is very empowering." And then there are people who are like, what's going on? Like they see it kind of as a minstrel show that misrepresents the image of the black woman around the world. That is kind of in contrast to what a lot of black. I see a lot of black women fighting for respect. Like where people will assume because you're a black woman, you must be like Cardi B, or because you're a black woman, you must be like that person they saw on TV. And they're like, no, I work in accounting and and I'm not Lizzo, right? Just like black men go through that. Like people think, I don't know if the brothers ever go through that, where people think that you're automatically good at basketball, or they think you know how to rap, or they'll ask you who your favorite rappers. Or like our son, he's 6'6". What do they always ask him?
They
The
ask
six
him,
foot
is
six
he?
black man.
Here's the thing, like it's terrible because he does not like that. He's
Yeah,
like, everywhere I go, I'm the tallest person in the room. Everyone saw him in the wedding pictures. Like, who's the real tall guy hovering over everyone? But he can play basketball, but that's not what he leans on. He's going to be a future engineer, and he's really smart. And it's so funny because when he went to U of L, they do a placement test. And he
Hmm.
took this test online, and the man was like, "You scored you had one of the highest scores I had ever seen for a freshman coming in." And Quincy's like, "Okay," he didn't know, but the guy was like talking to him like he was some basketball player.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, it's kind of so
He
the
rejects that whole thing. And by the way, he rejects a lot of stuff. I'm real happy with a lot of the youth. I really think that the young minds that I'm in contact with and that I'm seeing, they're just not being fooled by this.
I think some of them are, some of them aren't, right?
Some of them
So
are, okay.
yeah, so the thing is that media affects the way our people are seen. Like white folks only have certain uses for black people. They don't have no use for you if you're smart, if you are like a professor or a scholar. They
Hmm.
like
Hmm.
nobody can really point to like the think about it. Can you name the most prominent black female attorney in America that's on TV? What black female attorney? There's thousands of black female lawyers who should be on the Supreme Court. Name one prominent black female attorney that is a household name that every white person, half of all the white people know who she is.
Yeah,
You can't.
good point.
But you can name athletes that the white people know. You can name rappers. Like you ask white people, who's your favorite? Who are the black people you notice the most? They'll name like rappers or athletes, Michael Jordan or
Oh,
or Cardi B or whatever, right? So I think the thing is that what I'm seeing with people is they're not interested in the stereotypes. They're kind of tired of it. They're like, we don't. Nobody's ever been mad at Lizzo for being big, right? And so this whole like breakdown she had where you're just fat shaming me. I don't think anybody's mad at her for being big because there's a lot of big people. A lot of us a lot of people listening right now are big. It's more like you're kind of misrepresenting what the black woman is all about, and you're doing it in a way that's kind of insulting to our people. Like we're more than just the big fat hoe who likes to sing like that, and that's lit. And I say it like that because,
big fat hoe.
but I say it like that because that's how she represents herself. Like she literally talks about herself like that. And like the last song, it's like,
And she calls that empowerment. That's empowerment.
hey, I don't know,
Yeah.
I don't know how empowering that is.
No, it's not empowering at all.
Camille Huxtable would not approve.
Yeah.
Well, I said Camille Huxtable. I meant to say Mrs. Huxtable.
Mrs.
Claire
Huxtable.
Huxtable.
Oh, oh, that's something.
Isn't that funny?
You got
It's
that
almost like when
mixed up.
Eddie Murphy used to say Opie Cunningham when he met, when he met Ron Howard.
Oh,
He
that's so
said
funny.
Opie Cunningham. So Camille Huxtable.
Wow.
That's
Look
not
at
even a real
that.
person. Yeah, yeah. So
Hmm.
anyway, do me a favor, hit the thumbs up button, share, subscribe button. We're doing Pillow Talk with Dr. Boyce and Dr. Alicia, and this is where we sit and we literally have pillow talk and lay against our pillows and have intelligent conversations about different things. And so if you could hit the thumbs up button, and also the website to subscribe is boyceandaliciatv.com if you're into this type of thing. We're both professors, and so we kind of feel like black folks need intelligent conversations, not just stupid stuff. Now I'm going to switch my screen and grab a couple of notes I wanted to make to and let me know if you guys can still hear me. Give me a yes if you can still hear me, okay? Because I'm actually going to pull up something. I did a poll, and because we like to look at data, we're both into data and science and analytics and all that. So I did a poll, and what I did was I went on Twitter. My Twitter is Dr. Boyce Watkins 1. If you ever want to participate in the polls, and I said, "Do you like the way Lizzo portrays the black woman?"
Hmm.
And 7% said yes. 80% of the black people that follow me on Twitter. Now, these are black people that follow me, so it's a unique type of black. But there's over 100 some thousand
Yeah. How
people that are on
many
this.
followers do you have on Twitter?
On Twitter, I think I have 125,800 followers.
Okay.
So you're not talking about a tiny group, but the
Hmm. Hmm.
majority, 80% said no, I do not. So the overwhelming majority of black people in the intelligent black space
Hmm.
do not like what Lizzo's doing. Like they're very unhappy with it. And what's interesting is that when I saw today that on the Breakfast Club, they were saying that Facebook is banning people for if they say anything other than praise for Lizzo, you can get banned from Facebook. That's what they were claiming. And I just kind of think that's unfair.
Well, I mean, I think I don't like some of the nasty comments people make on social media, honestly. And I don't think that people should be making really derogatory comments about anybody, let alone Lizzo. I mean, why is it that it's just comments against Lizzo? Like, there are comments flying all over the place on social media. So wait, if someone made a comment about me and I just started crying about it on Instagram,
Yes.
will Facebook ban them?
Yeah, you hear that?
Is that what it is?
Anybody who talks about
Like,
my
am I that fragile?
if you new announcement, if you criticize me or my lovely wife, you are officially racist, sexist, and you're Boyce phobic. We're gonna start
Oh, they're
making shit
black
up.
love phobic.
You're black love phobic.
And then let's just cry. Let's cry together, boys. No, let's not. Okay.
It's
This,
making me so sad.
you know what? You're sucking me into this thing. Okay, stop.
Sorry.
That's
Okay.
not nice. That's not good. I mean, the thing
That's true. We're not making
we
fun.
should we I
Oh, but
mean,
we
that's the
can't make fun of
reality.
her. You will get banned.
Oh no. Okay, stop. Okay.
Thou shalt not speak negative of Lizzo.
So here's the thing. So they're canceling people who want to cancel Lizzo.
Yeah.
So we can't cancel anybody.
If you don't say,
I don't like cancel culture anyway.
well, you know what it is with white people. White people are your Lord and Savior. So if they tell you that something is good and you don't agree, then you will be
get
banned.
canceled.
Right. Like if they tell you that, like anything, it could be a vaccine, it could be a celebrity, it could be whatever.
Mm-hmm.
If they tell you that it needs to be good and you need to be okay with it and you need to co-sign on it, if it's LGBT stuff, if you don't go along with the program, then they will work to ostracize you.
It's just really interesting how reactionary Lizzo is with social media. And you know what? Interestingly enough, I remember years and years ago when I got my head up out the sand and I started listening to, just for information, I started listening to Cardi B. I'm like, why is everybody talking about Cardi B? Remember? It was a long time before I actually heard her song. I didn't even know that was her. And I was like, wow. And so I remember her being on, anybody would say anything negative about her, she would respond to everything. She wouldn't let anything go. Yeah, Cardi B.
Cardi was.
She was really, really. And so, I mean, she's fragile, seems like to me.
Yeah. Well, what's interesting is, I wanted to ask you this. You're a therapist.
Oh, wait. What are you going to ask
These
me?
are my notes. I was thinking about something.
Oh, okay.
So you're a therapist. I'd like to ask you, what is a phobia?
A phobia?
Yes.
It's where you are afraid of something.
Okay, that's what I thought.
Mm-hmm.
So when Lizzo says that we're fatphobic, because we don't agree with the promotion of obesity, I don't know why a lot of people don't understand. Like that promoting obesity does kill people. Look at how many people died during the pandemic. 75, I think 72% of the people that died in the pandemic were obese. So you're promoting death, right? I mean, you really are. I mean, I don't know. Give me a yes or no if you agree with me, but you're literally promoting the thing that's causing Black people to die. Now, when they're telling everybody to go get their shots, they're not saying anything about going to the gym. They're like, no, pass by the gym and go to Walgreens and get your shot. Right. And we'll have some free donuts for your fat ass when you get there. And then I just find that fascinating.
Well, I mean, it's not like fat phobia. That would be if a fat person was around me, I would instantly become really afraid. So I don't know what that.
So terms like homophobia and fatphobia.
Yeah. So actually, homophobia is not really. It's called sexual prejudice.
Yeah. Why wouldn't they just say like you're anti-fat or you're anti-gay?
I don't like anti.
I think anti. I think the word
anti is so bad.
Right.
Let's just call it pro-health.
And here's the thing too, right? Just because somebody's not in alignment with whatever you're doing, that doesn't make them anti. They're just pro themselves. They're pro freedom. Like if I just say, look, I don't know if I agree with the idea of, promoting obesity, or I don't know if I want my children sexualized. And I think that's what a lot of people took issue with the Lizzo thing was when she was on TikTok. And our 10-year-olds on TikTok, a lot of 10-year-olds on TikTok. And she did that little video where she was down on her knees like she was about to suck a man's penis. And I think that there's an agenda, like there's something weird sexually going on. Where
they don't see that. That's not going to be banned on any social media.
Right.
But if I say, hey, get off your knees. My daughter's looking at this. You you stupid lady. I'm banned
Yeah,
for calling
right.
her out on what she's doing.
Right, right. And it's very weird.
Yeah,
It's very weird.
you know what? It's schizophrenic almost, right?
Yeah, it's very it's selective. It's their selective outrage.
Yeah.
You know, it's like how all the white people are screaming Black Lives Matter, but then like the same weekend, like somebody gets shot by the cops and they'll all be like Black Lives Matter, but then the same weekend, like
To be shot by each
40
other.
well, no, 40 people will be shot in Chicago and they'll be
Nobody
like,
says
they
anything.
won't say a word. They'll be like, why would you bring up black on black crime? That doesn't exist. I'm
Yeah.
like, wait, so things can only exist when you say that they can exist? Is that,
Hmm.
and it's like a weird world, like to me, it's very straightforward. It's basically, the whole conversation about Lizzo is not anti Lizzo. It's not anti obesity. It's not anti anything. It's just pro black.
So
It's
what
a
it
there you
in?
go. There you go. For a lot of people, I'm sorry, Nika. I was gonna say,
Hmm.
I think I had an epiphany. I had an epiphany.
Hmm.
Being pro black means people are gonna say you're anti something else, right? Like when you're just like, look, I'm just being pro black woman. Like I don't want the black woman misrepresented in that way. Black women have a hard enough time. I knew women that tried to go work in the hip hop music industry who couldn't hardly keep a job because all the men would treat them like the video vixens. And so it's like you can give the video vixens a right to do what they're going to do, but when they're kind of presenting this idea that every woman wants to do whatever you think they're going to do, it makes it harder for women that are like, no, I'm just a human being. Like, treat me like a human being. And I think that that's the challenge with Lizzo is that she's allowed her bosses, the corporations that pay her money, to make her into a gimmick. Like your gimmick. Like, think about it. If you take away
She
the,
is. I
if you,
told you, you have to have a gimmick. Something has to set you apart from everyone else.
yeah,
Hmm.
if you take away the like big girls conversation, and then you take away the sexuality, what do you have? You just have another singer.
Hmm. And that's not fun. She
Hmm.
can't be. I mean, we already have a Beyonce. We can't have two. So she has to carve her own way out. I mean, I like that. Well, I mean, there's some things that she's been doing that's been pretty cool. Like, and I've seen her on social media eat. She cooks vegan foods, so
That's
you
good.
see her
That's good.
eating. She's a vegan or something. Actually, she can't be vegan, right?
I don't
Is
think
she?
I'm
She's saying that she
if you're
is.
vegan and you're eating healthy and you're that big and you're doing all that dancing
She
on
does a
stage,
lot of. Can you imagine going on tour? You know how many calories she's
you
burning
know,
every.
if that's the
How
case,
is
like if
she?
she's really eating like really light and that big,
It's
you'd
a
have to
medical
something would have to be wrong
condition.
with your body. Like you'd have to have a
Yeah.
medical issue. Yeah, so I don't know. I don't know.
I mean, she's moving her, and she even has full figure dancers.
Yeah,
Which I mean, I gotta stop. Don't laugh like that.
I'm not
No,
laughing.
I mean,
I'm just smiling real hard.
I kind of listen. I don't. Okay, we can, we can
Stop
take
it.
it. You,
You're being
I
fat
can't look
phobic.
at you right
You're being
now.
fat phobic.
You know,
Stop that.
I feel like I'm at a. You know how you're somewhere and you're not supposed to laugh, and you look at somebody and then you start laughing.
Yeah.
That's how I feel. So anyway, like on the other end of the spectrum, I kind of feel like at one point we were promoting like unhealthy ways of being. Like we need to be super super skinny
Mm-hmm.
and almost like emaciated. Did I say that right? And
Emaciated. Yeah.
emaciated, and that's unhealthy too. So I think the goal is just healthy living, right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I mean, I would be real curious. Like,
Mhm.
I kind of who was it? Somebody said that she eats. I saw a comment where somebody said that she eats healthy on camera, and I'm
Well, it
wondering
doesn't
what's
add
going on.
up, right?
Right? It
Something else
doesn't.
is
It doesn't
going
add up. Yeah,
on.
yeah. There's got to be you sneaking some Snickers bars in there or something. Like, hey,
she
like you.
she turning the camera off and eating
You
something
ever
else.
see? I think I saw a cartoon like that where they had the little kid that made him go to a fat farm, and I think it was Cartman on South Park, and he snuck like some candy bars in his bag, and he kept eating candy bars at night, and they had him doing all these workouts, and they're like, "You're not losing weight."
Oh
Okay,
my
let me stop. See,
gosh.
now we really gonna get in trouble. Dang, see, I can't
Oh
be hanging out with people like you. You get me in trouble.
yeah, and I think the issue is that okay. So I did see her interview. Stop! I can't even talk. I did. I did see her well, no, I saw her interview on TV about. She kept talking about self love, but it's contradictory to me because self love does not mean um that you sit and you read a comment that's negative about you and then you just have this breakdown. That's not self love.
That is true. And then the other thing
You
too
had.
is like if you go through her lyrics, she consistently says, "I'm the fat girl, I'm the big this, I'm the,
Mhm.
juice, big fat, juicy, blah blah blah." So if somebody says like if you say I'm fat and they say, "Yeah, you are fat," and you say, "Oh, you hurt my feelings,"
Yeah, but you said it in your song. I'm just
right?
repeating what you said.
Right. That's a little bit weird. That's a little bit weird. Like that's
That's the schizophrenia I'm talking
mhm.
about.
Well, that's
It's
a
you're sending all these different messages and it doesn't make sense.
That's the schizophrenia of the victim box. The victim box means I can say terrible things about myself, but if you say those same things about me, I get to claim that I'm the victim.
Yeah, so
It's,
that's victim
and we
you're
do this in a lot.
victimizing yourself.
We do that in a lot of areas.
Mhm.
Like with think about it. Like rappers, we got rappers that will literally be like, "Die nigga die" in every other verse. And then if a white person uses the N-word, we're like, "You're racist. You hurt my feelings.
Yeah.
I've never been traumatized like this before until I heard you call me the N-word." And you feel and
And
I
white people are looking at you confused.
yeah, they're like,
They're
wait a minute,
like, I just heard you say
you
it.
call yourself that every day of the week, even when it's not even appropriate for the sentence. Like you'll find a way to shape the sentence just to make sure you get to call yourself a nigga that day. So it's kind of it doesn't make any sense. And I think that if you're talking about like you were saying, like with self-love, when I really gained self-love, I didn't care what anybody said about me.
Right. Right.
And so
Mhm.
yeah, you're right. It doesn't seem it's like, okay, you love yourself, then
Yeah,
don't
why
worry about
would
the
you care?
haters.
Here's the thing, you don't even know me. Why would you care what I say about you? Like, if I say something about some stranger, like, why would that hurt? It's a complex that you have.
Raymond James said something interesting. He
What do you
says
say?
he says Lizzo has fat phobia. He says
She
think
has fat
he
phobia.
says think about it. She's not trying to date big people. She's trying to date like athletes and people who are in shape.
Well, the thing is, wait, what does Lizzo date? Because she doesn't.
Well, she
She
talks
never
about
really
she had
said.
the new man on the Minnesota Vikings. Remember that?
Yeah, but in my mind, I was picturing like a front
Oh, like a
lineman.
lineman. Oh,
Yeah, I was picturing. I was like, wow, that'd be a good
a good fit.
match.
That would be.
Yeah,
That would be.
I wasn't picturing like don't know the wide receiver. I don't know.
Well, I kind of feel like she's not happy with who she is.
No, she's not.
I wouldn't. I really feel like maybe she doesn't enjoy being big like that. You know what it makes you think about? The Fat Boys. Anybody remember the Fat Boys, the rap group from back in the day? And the Fat Boys, they have the human beatbox. They one of the guys was like, "Dang man, like we're walking around calling ourselves the Fat Boys. Like people are gonna make fun of us." And
Hmm.
then one of them, after their group kind of like fell off, he became like this fitness instructor, and like he's like he could be in a bodybuilding contest now.
That's
People
great.
don't even recognize him anymore because they do reunion concerts and they're like, "We came to see the Fat Boys." Like
What
he's
is
not fat.
this?
Yeah, because the human beatbox, I think he died
Yeah.
of health related conditions at a very early age.
Well, that probably could have whipped him into shape and said, I'm not going to die like this.
Yeah, yeah.
And I think they had to, like, contractually or something. I think they had to, like,
Oh
be
gosh,
big.
that's terrible.
That's just that's
Yeah.
just really bad. So my question to you, Boyce, is okay, so you've identified the problem. You've deconstructed the problem very clearly.
Hmm.
What do you think the big agenda is? What's the
I
big
think the
agenda?
big agenda is there's a weird, like far left LGBT feminist layout that is heavily sexual, sexually uncomfortable and inappropriate for most families in the sense of basically doing things that just come off as awkward and weird. Like, telling 6-year-olds, to consider switching their gender when their parents are not in agreement with this. This is why people don't trust the government and the state anymore. They're like, I don't want to send my child to school so you can tell my 7-year-old that they need to think about switching genders, or my son, you're trying to get him to go kiss a boy when he ain't never said he wants to kiss a boy, you know. And I think that people are mad about that, right? And then also I think when you talk about feminism or so-called women's empowerment, there's a debate, what is women's empowerment? What does that look like? Does that look like no, sure, I think women's empowerment looks like healthy sexuality with the protection of a family to ensure that that woman is safe and secure as she explores whoever the hell she wants to be. I don't know if women's empowerment is Cardi B, because if you look at Cardi B's life, it's not a happy life. Cardi B was not in a good place in her life. She was a stripper and a hooker.
Well, she's probably still not in a good place. Wouldn't you imagine?
Right, right.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
when you talk about things like what does it mean? Like when we think about our daughters, like what does it mean for them to have a healthy, happy, empowered life? Well, I'm not like T.I. I'm not saying like we need to check our daughters what was
Hyman.
Hyman. Yeah, like I'm not into that. Like that's too
That's
much, right?
creepy. Well,
Right. I'm not I would right.
considering some of the stuff
Right, it's too
that's come
much.
out.
It's too much, right? I ain't trying to be like the Taliban, and be like locking women down. But
Stoning the women and
right, right. But at the same time, I don't want my daughters to live the life Cardi B had because it was a terrible life. But that's kind of what gets promoted when you're promoting prostitution.
yeah. So you're objectifying yourself, and it's like when you objectify yourself, you're boiling yourself down to just this spot on my body, my
Right.
behind. I'm only as good as this one little object. So you're objectifying yourself, and you have to lower yourself down to this one little dimension. I am just this butt.
Well,
I am just this outward appearance. Nothing else is
mhm.
important but just that. So that's why objectifying is really degrading. It's degrading.
Yeah, one could
Hmm.
argue that you're undermining your own right to humanity when you basically lead every conversation with your vagina.
Well, it's just saying you're more than that.
Right.
And what is that? Like she could be way more. I mean, these people aren't untalented individuals. I mean,
Exactly.
Lizzo has really good talent, but talent is not what's going to get you in there. You have to be willing to say yes to a whole lot of things that most people won't say yes to. So that separates you.
Yeah,
Hmm.
yeah. Like when I think about when as I try to make sure I think about women in an appropriate way, I think about like the way I look at you. Of course I knew you were beautiful. Of course I thought about the sexual side of who you were. But I needed to know all sides of you. I need to respect all the parts that make you into a human being. And I think that if you had presented me, if you had come up to me pussy first,
Oh
I
goodness,
know that's
you're so
crazy.
vulgar,
It's late at
Boyce.
night, but you know what I'm talking about. Like if you would come up to me like literally like laying sexuality on the table, I wouldn't have had a chance to get to know the rest of you because I would have been too obsessed with the lower vibrational, lower
Yeah,
frequency.
but I wouldn't have. I would if I had done something like that. I wouldn't have seen myself any more than just that. That's it.
Right. And
That's all there is to
your
me.
mama raised you right. Your mama raised you to
Mm-hmm.
be the kind of woman that says, "Yeah, I'm a woman," and you can tell that, but you need to respect me at a certain level. And I think that when you're talking about Cardi B, I don't get that sense. It's very every other like if Cardi couldn't rap about sex, she wouldn't have nothing to rap
She had
about.
nothing else to say.
Right. If Lizzo couldn't
Mm-hmm.
talk about sex and being big, she'd literally run out of verses.
What you know what I don't. Here's the thing. Yes, that's what we see, but I look at those two women and I think there's more to them than just that. If I were to speak to them, I would say, you're more than just your fake boobs and your fake teeth and your fake butt. Like there's more to you than just that. If I was to see Lizzo, I would say, there's more to you than just, put some clothes on and sing the song.
Mhm.
Play that flute beautifully. You could do it. And that should be good enough. Like there's more dynamics to you than just that. That's what I would say to those women.
Well, one thing that I stick to, and nobody can
Mhm.
really answer this question is, show me the white Lizzo. Who's the Asian Lizzo? Like they don't. There is none. There is no Jewish Lizzo.
Well, I mean, even if there was one, at least there's a variety. And that's just what kills me. It's like all black women are seen through the eyes of the four main stereotypes of black women.
Hmm.
That's it.
Well,
Or a combination of the four stereotypes.
a big part of the reason. See, and I agree, and I think yeah,
And
right.
she
So
represents the horror stereotype and
mhm.
the ancient mama stereotype.
We got the Ancient Mama, the whore. Is that the Jezebel?
Horror Jezebel, ancient mama, horror Jezebel, um, the sapphire,
Now, what's the difference in Sapphire and
You know, the
Jessica?
sassy one. Like you like to mock us sometimes. I've seen you mock black women, and you know I don't like
Oh,
it.
oh,
Um,
you talking about the woman that
the
swings her neck
sassy,
and
yeah,
talks
I
about
don't
she
like
don't need
that.
no.
It's
I don't.
disrespectful, by the way.
I hate it when I see it on a commercial. It makes me
Yeah,
mad.
we look at each other and we're
You know,
like, oh, that's so
like,
cringy.
girl, I had to go down to the store and get me some chicken right away.
No, the Aldi's commercial. Have you seen the new Aldi's commercial?
Oh God, no. But
Oh, it's bad. You've seen it with me. The Aldi's and the Popeyes commercial.
oh no, not Popeyes.
The
Well, you
lady
know,
does a.
Popeyes had that black lady where they pretended like she was the CEO and it was really a white lady running the company.
Well, she didn't present like the CEO. She presented like the cook.
No, well, the one I saw, she presented herself as like the owner of Popeye's Chicken.
I saw she had a well, okay, maybe because I saw she had a apron on,
Mm.
and that just I was like, Aunt Jemima, thank you very much.
Yeah, yeah,
So that's what you see Lizzo as,
yeah.
and that's in the media. That's what you're gonna see black women as anyway.
I think that I think that
Hmm.
that's the interesting thing, and they convince you that that's liberating when it's not, because
No,
it
it's
means that
confining.
any black woman who shows up who does not fit the stereotype is not going to have a
Cast
job.
aside.
Is going to be put to the side, right?
It's just really something like I see a lot of black women in Hollywood right now who I see on the screen. And it's such a disconnect because when I'm in Los Angeles, they're beautiful black women in Los
Mm-hmm.
Angeles. And I'm thinking, good grief, you are not going to make it on that screen, on the big screen. You can
Yeah.
see, like, you could just be anywhere at a restaurant and see, and the person taking your order is some gorgeous black woman that's probably very talented and everything. And you're not going to see them on the screen. You're just going to see those four stereotypes.
Well, I mean,
Hmm. It's sad.
until black people own media, we're always going to just be typecast, and we're going to play a role. Like they have a role for black people, and
Hmm.
if you don't fit that role, then you don't get opportunities for those people.
It's just so funny. Like I know when we were watching, we always every now and then we bring up Snowfall. We're watching Snowfall, and we're like, look at
Mm,
all these people playing these gangsters. And I said, they're probably like
Juilliard
Juilliard trained
went to Yale.
actors, and they just mad because that's the only role they can get.
Yeah,
Gangster number two.
and then it'd be some British dude like the guy on Snowfall. You were
Franklin
kind of
is Brit.
surprised.
I couldn't believe he was on Instagram, and I was like, "Oh, Franklin, let me hear what he's got to say." And like, he's got this British accent. I was like, "Ooh,
Well,
bye, Franklin."
you know what? There's nothing wrong with the British accent, but because you know we love our Black London
I
friends,
love Black
we really
London,
do.
but it was just such a
But
shock to my system to see Franklin talk with a British accent. I wasn't ready
well,
for that.
it does throw you off because it's like you mean they couldn't find nobody in the hood that could like play Franklin.
It's real people
They're like we got
that
to
can
go all the way.
act.
I like when they would go find a British actor to do like Aretha or something. It's no disrespect to the British actors because they're talented, but it's like damn, like we can't even play ourselves.
Like the shock on my face when I found out that Idris Alba was was British.
Yeah,
Is
that's
that his
interesting,
name?
right?
Yeah, I
Idris
was
Elba.
just like,
Hmm.
oh my goodness.
Yeah, yeah. Well, you know, I think, and so I think it's kind of and really, it's almost like African Americans are seen in a certain tier of society, and in order for you to break out of that, you typically have to have something different about you. So, for example, um, we celebrate Barack Obama becoming president,
Hmm.
but Barack had a white mama, so that kind of made him different from the rest of us. And he grew up in Indonesia and stuff like that.
He did not.
Cam-
He did not have the black experience.
right. Kamala Harris is
Hmm.
she's got the Jamaican daddy and the Indian mama. She's not Tiffany from the hood. You know what I
Hmm.
mean? Like so it's kind of like it seems to me that whenever a black person can bust out of those stereotypes, they're usually like maybe they're from the Caribbean or like there's something there that says that they're not African American, like descendant of slaves. Like I think that there's like a typecast for ADOS type
You know
people.
what? That's interesting, and I wonder if that's why a lot of British people play those stereotypical roles of black people more often now
Mm.
because we just won't want to do it anymore.
I
It's
don't
just like
know.
I'm not gonna play gangster number two. Get someone
Oh
from across
no,
the pond to
people
do
in
it.
Hollywood ain't that shoot. They ain't got no
They don't
standards.
have no
A
standard.
lot
But
of them
I'm
they'll
just
take any job
wondering.
they can
I'm
get.
wondering if it's just like, oh, I have got to remove myself from this. I don't want to be typecasted. I want to be seen as a more serious actor, and I don't want to be typecasted as a okay drug addict number two who loses their child because of crack. Like, oh, that
Hmm.
I think it would just hit too close to home for me. I know as an actress, I don't. If I was an actress, I couldn't play that role. It would just be
Interesting.
difficult for me.
Interesting.
But anyway,
Do me a favor, hit the thumbs up button. This is Pillow Talk with Dr. Boyce and Dr. Alicia Watkins, and this is something we do periodically, about a couple times a week, just
are we
to
off on the tangent?
we are, but we do that shit all the time, so it is what it is. Hit the thumbs up button if you could, and also I want to show you guys something. Let me know if you can still hear me. Give me a yes if you can still hear me. I'm gonna find this poll. I did another poll on Your Black World because I like to see what people are thinking. I want to hear from the community. And because I was really curious, I said, okay, maybe everyone just loves exactly what Lizzo's doing, and maybe I'm just being mean. Maybe I'm being a
We're disconnect. Maybe we're too disconnected. Is that what you
right,
think? Okay.
right. So I
Hmm.
asked on Your Black World, I said, do you think Lizzo hurts the image of Black women? 69% said yes. 22% said no. 9% said not sure. So 69%, more than two thirds, said that she does hurt the image of Black women,
Hmm.
around the world. And I think that that's
I wonder what she would say to that. Like, I'm really curious if we were to say, Lizzo, this is not what we want to see from you.
well, let's keep it 100.
Like, what would she say?
Well,
Would
let's
she say, I don't really care, F you, or
right.
something?
Here's the disconnect.
Hmm. She's
If
disconnected from
if
us.
Black people were the ones paying Lizzo's salary, she would be broke. She would be out of a job. When a minstrel show type character gets elevated
Hmm.
to the world, we think the person's a role model because they're on TV and because they have lots of money. But these people do not represent the Black community because we're not the ones who put them up there. We just have Black people who celebrate it because we are raised to believe that our dream is to be acknowledged by white people. So when we see somebody getting acknowledged by white people, we're like, "Ooh, that you must be important because white people gave you an award. They gave you money."
Hmm.
But
Hmm.
really, when you talk to the for real Black people, they're like, I don't have nothing in common with that. No, I
Hmm.
don't. No, I don't
And
want to. I don't
and
want to, carry myself in that way.
And we have talked about, I remember before at another pillow talk, we did talk about like they kind of gave you money, but they can take it away from you real fast. Like I just kind of find that media is can be kind of finicky. And as long as
Mm,
she stays on script, she'll keep getting access. But as soon
hmm.
as she says or does something off script or that runs against the disapproval,
Yep.
I can see her being chewed up and spit out real fast, and then she really be crying on
We
Instagram.
saw
She really
we saw him with Nick Cannon. I mean, when Nick Cannon tried
got
to get
off script.
Nick Cannon was really getting a lot of approval points because he was starting to act really like he wanted to be Black, and I
Hmm.
talked to Nick Cannon's father last month for an hour.
I remember.
Very smart man. I
Yeah.
really liked him a lot, and I felt very guilty about the fact that I was in an extreme. I had an extreme issue
Did he know?
with what happened with his son.
Did he
I
know
don't
it
know
at
if
the
his dad
time?
knew or not. His dad
He
is
seemed to really respect you, and he's super
he's
smart.
a smart
My
man, and
God.
his father's doing great work on reparations. And I
Yeah.
told him I would love to support in any way I can, but it creates a little bit of a conflict because I wasn't happy with what happened,
He did not
with
run.
Nick.
Yeah.
I think that the way we present ourselves as Black men, we got to really think about how quick we let other men make us fold, and so Nick Cannon, you saw when Nick got a little too extra Black, they had him apologizing, like, and it's interesting because it's humiliating because they won't apologize once, like issue one statement and have it be over. He had to apologize like 3 or 4 times. Like it was like groveling. It got to where it looked like he was begging at some point. Now he got his job back, and I see him on Wildin' Out, and he'll be
Hmm.
dressed like a clown, like. But we think it's cool, but really it's clown like. Like Dr. Claude Anderson talks about that. He says even back during slavery, he said
Mhm.
black people would always entertain by doing stuff over the top. Like they would turn their hat around backward or put paint on their face or whatever. And I saw Nick on an ad with paint on his face, like advertising wilding out. Like look at me, look at me,
Mm.
look at how funny I am. You know, I'm funny and I'm cool and I'm hip. You know, like people don't
Mhm.
understand. Like that's all a lot of that's minstrel show. You know,
Oh
that it says
God.
black
Oh, and
people.
he definitely has the stereotype because he's got all these kids everywhere. I
Oh
mean, that's a
gosh,
black male stereotype
yeah, with all the
that doesn't
kids.
represent black men.
Well, that
You
is
know,
interesting having all the kids and stuff. I don't know what that's about,
that's a
but
stereotype. He's
well,
playing
that's
out a stereotype.
yeah, well, that's his choice, I guess. I don't know. It's gonna be expensive. I hope he gonna need that money because that child support is not a joke. You know, but still, so it's kind of like for black people, I think that's the thing that we have to be conscious and aware of is
Hmm.
that they sort of put you in a little bit of a box. You know, like there is no like white version of Cardi B. You know, like Cardi B, you know, she spoke to Joe Biden because she represented black and brown people. And Joe Biden didn't want to talk to any smart black people. He said, I'm going to talk to this stripper rapper with fetal alcohol syndrome.
I promise you,
Yeah, I know you
she
brought that
seems
up.
like it. Yeah.
Yeah, and that's who
Hmm.
I'm going to talk to represent the black community. So it makes black people into a joke. It
Hmm.
really makes us look stupid, you know, because the stupid people are the ones that get the most attention because they want you to be a clown. They're like, you can only rise if you're black in our space if you are entertaining us. You must be dribbling a ball. You must be telling a joke. You got to
Hmm.
be busting a rap. You got to be twerking.
And
You
then it
whatever.
and what it does, it boils down to someone like our son Quincy, who
Mm-hmm.
can't even get through a placement test without people asking him what team you play for. You playing for Louisville? No,
Boom.
he no way he played for
There
Louisville.
you go. There you go.
Like he can't even be taken seriously in his engineering classes, because they expecting him to play hoops. He's not there to play basketball.
Oh, both and my goddaughter went through that. My
Yes.
goddaughter's a great athlete. She's 6'2",
Yeah, but
and
she's
was one.
smart.
Yeah, she was the number one high jumper in the United States, and she hated the fact that everywhere she went, they would always ask her if she played basketball. So it made her. She got to the point where she refused to even pick up a basketball
Yeah.
because ever since she was 6, people were like, oh, you're tall and you're black. You're supposed to play sports.
Ugh,
And then people be like, "Oh, you wasting all that height. What are you talking about?
that's what they would
You're
say.
wasting like I'm wasting my life because I'm not on a damn court with a ball. Really? And then you try to act like we're not stereotyped and typecast. That's crazy.
Yeah.
No, you are typecast. They don't go to white kids that are tall and say, "Oh, you're wasting your height. You could have been somebody if if you'd have went to the basketball
They
court."
look at you envious, like, what? You don't play basketball? If I had your height, I'd be playing.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
mean, and some of it makes sense. I mean, some of it I'm just like, I should have had them in basketball.
It's funny. You know,
But I did have them in
like
math camp.
you know what? I used to tutor a white man when I was in college. I
Uh-huh.
tutored this white man who was 40 years old. He was 7 feet tall. And I said, "Have you ever played basketball?" He said no. But he was a multi-millionaire
Was
businessman.
he really?
Yes, and he was happy to pay me my money because I was helping him get through his math class. Don't ask me why this 7 foot tall rich white man was taking a math class, but it didn't matter. He saw
You
me in
know,
class. He saw I knew all the answers, so he started paying me. And he had zero interest. It had never crossed his brain. He said, I think he said, yeah, I tried sports, but it wasn't fun. So I decided to start a business instead.
you know what? You are the best math tutor ever, by the way.
That's true. That is how I got close to you, huh?
Yeah, it is. But
I
you
forgot
you
about
are
that.
real. I mean, like for real, you're really good. Like I didn't understand any of that stuff, and you would explain it to me, and I got it in less than 5 minutes. It was just like, okay, don't go any further. I got it now. Like
Did I ever charge you, or do you owe me money
I
for all that
did.
tutoring?
Okay, I'll probably need to pay you some
You
money,
need to pay me like $50 plus
and then
25 years of interest.
Add interest on there. I'll
I'm gonna
give you
go.
your
Don't make
money.
me get out my calculator, lady.
I'm good for it. However much you need, I'll give you. Because I do owe you for that. I wouldn't have graduated from college if it was for you.
um,
Wasn't for you tutoring me.
oh, stop it.
It's true.
Yeah. That's what they all say.
We did go to the movies, remember?
We did. We went to see Pulp Fiction. Is that
Pulp
right?
Fiction we went to
Yeah,
see.
we gotta watch that movie again. That's a good one.
It was shocking.
It was. It was very shocking. We should watch it on my phone. But anyway, guys, I love you guys, and by the way, Alicia's website, and you can follow her on Instagram, is Coaching with Dr. Alicia. There it is on the screen. It's coachingwithdralicia.com. And also, I want to mention to you all that we did do a movie, and we're actually showing the movie for free. And the movie is called Till Death Do Us Part, and the this is an extension of the Black Love Blueprint series. And so we're going to watch part 6 on Thursday, which you can watch for free. And after the film, we bring in the couple that's featured on the film. We bring in the director, Tierra KJ Williams, and also Dr. Alicia comes in. She's a licensed couples counselor and a full professor of social work. So we have a real intelligent Black conversation about what it means to have healthy relationships. And the reason we did it is because a lot of people are getting horrible advice on the internet, and we want to give you advice from grown-ups who've actually who've actually done it. So the couples that we're talking to are couples that have been married for 30 years, and you can watch the film for free. Just register at blackmovienight.net. And also, Alicia and I will be at the All Black National Convention at the end of October. It's going to be in Orlando. It's going to be a lot of fun. I can't wait for that. It's going to be cool.
It will be really nice. And you know what? This is the last week for Till Death Do Us Part. Is this the final week?
Yeah, week 6, and
Aw.
and it's been really good. We've had a really, I feel like we've really had a great relationship masterclass.
For sure. Yes.
Yeah, because
That's exactly what
because
it
you have these
was.
couples that really have done the work, who really actually made it. A lot of people, everybody can tell you what they think it takes to make a relationship work, but for people to actually have done it
Mm-hmm.
is very cool.
Yeah, it's interesting. It's like all the couples so far have had so much struggle. It wasn't like it was a piece of cake, but it was just like it brought them closer together. It was like, oh, we struggle, but it's just like they just fell into a groove.
Hmm.
I like it.
Yeah, I think it's really
It's
great.
eye opening.
It was. I know I'm learning a lot. I know a lot of people are learning a lot, and I'm glad we did the project. And I'm proud of the fact that we've made Black movies with our own money. Like we've used, we've been able to basically raise the money, and we don't have to go to corporations. We're not begging for anybody, the government money, whatever. And we did this. Like we're building a movie industry, and our movies have been seen by millions of people.
I have not seen one stereotype of a Black man or a Black woman
Yeah.
in this
Oh, in
film.
the film, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, all the men are like sturdy, solid men who love their wives, and the
Who have
wives are good quality Black women who love and respect their
But there's
husbands.
hundreds of thousands of us just like that.
Yeah,
It's a treat that we can shed the light on that.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So we'll be there Thursday. You can go to blackmovienight.net if you want to join us. And also, the All Black National Convention is basically a great gathering we're going to do at the end of October in Orlando. And the hotel is beautiful. It's the Omni, it has 9 restaurants, and it's right next to Disneyland. So it's very family friendly. So if you want to come to the All Black National Convention, you can go to allblacknationalconvention.com. You can get super early bird tickets at a big discount now. Also, you can go to abnchotel.com and get your hotel room at a really steep discount. So that's abnchotel.com. So feel free to so go to allblacknationalconvention.com. All the information is there. We're covering crypto and stock market investing and relationships and politics and hip hop. We got a hip hop panel to talk about what's going on with hip hop music and what it's doing to our community, good and bad. We're also doing breakout sessions. We're having a speed dating. That was your idea. It's because you realize that a lot of smart Black people are looking for other smart Black people to date. We're helping people to meet with their investment clubs, crypto clubs and stuff like that. So basically, it's bringing people together and helping you achieve whatever your goal is. When it comes to success. So anyway, guys, we're out of here. Thank you all for listening. And you got anything you want to say?
Yeah, I mean, this is exciting stuff happening in 2021. Yeah.
Yeah, we're winning.
We are
Intelligent,
winning. Yeah.
intelligent Black people are winning, and it's really great to be a part of that. So have a good night, everybody. We will talk to you soon. Take care. Bye bye. Peace.